Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tally the Votes. Big Brother, we are rounding it out on the final week, heading into the final episode. And somehow, someway, the three of us that tally the votes, plus Brian, all have a player still in the game. Our winner picks are the final three. I don't know how we managed, especially with this group, to land here, but we did. And
it's a momentous occasion.
Though it seems like it's tilted on a landslide towards one person, it really kind of is anybody's game. And I don't know. I think it's fun. I'm looking forward to the finale. I don't know. What do you guys think about this week? Anything stand out to you? Anything important to you?
Well, I mean, I think two people really dominated the game. I mean, one was HOH, the other one's Veto, and then the other wins HOH and Veto, and
that's the way to dominate. Is keep each other safe in that, in that setup.
And I got to agree with you. I think I cannot envision a scenario that Morgan is sitting in the final two and doesn't win.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, Vince has ruffled more feathers on the jury than she has by far.
Absolutely. I don't know if you guys caught this at the end, but I screamed laugh when Vince is like, well, at least I didn't send anybody to jury bitter. Enters Ava and I've lost the game.
He said on the live feed as it was ending, he said, well, hey guys, I lost again.
Yeah. Like, oh, Vince. What was the best about that is both women just stopped their laughing and got dead quiet when he said it. They're drinking their champagne like, yeah, you're right.
I guess what intrigues me is Vince has really pissed off a lot of people on the jury. If it ended up being a Vince Ashley jury, what do we have?
Ashley.
You think so?
Yeah.
And I'd like to think that because that's my winner's pick, and I'd like to think there's a chance.
You know what? 2 weeks ago, I would have thought, nah, she doesn't have much of a chance. But over the last 2 weeks, like Ashley has kind of sold me on her game.
If you wanted to ask me what I thought was most impressive this week, it was with two people sort of not playing the game and just competing for each other. Ashley went to work.
Yeah, she did.
And had contingencies for any of the final five, any of the final four, is making herself not a threat. But something I saw today that I found very interesting is in the lightning round of Mike Bloom questions about who, what they all thought of the other house guests. Keanu's word to describe Ashley was intelligent. And he said that she has done a great job of hiding it, which probably tells me last night when he went to the jury house, Will probably told him, like, hey, look, she's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because I would bet he would say Ashley's really been playing good the last couple of weeks. And so I think Ashley has put in work in the event she gets there for her jury management. I mean, Ava goes out of there probably liking her the best of the other three. Keanu definitely liked her the best.
I think Rachel votes for
her. She gets Rachel and Will. If it's Vinny, there's no way Kelly and Keanu are voting for Vinny. I mean,
right.
If Vinny takes Ashley, I think he's as likely to lose against her, maybe even more so than if he takes Morgan.
Well, I think Morgan it'd be unanimous. I don't think he gets a single vote.
I bet Lauren votes for him.
Yeah, I think that
okay, that's fair.
He may get a Lauren vote out of it, but like what you're saying with Ashley, she's done a really great job. Like socially, she's played a good game socially, considering where she started out, making everyone all upset about a dumb shower. We thought her game was cooked right at the beginning because of that. She managed to pull out of that situation and play a good social game. Friendly with the right people. Doesn't seem like
friendly
she's
with kind of everybody, don't you think?
Yeah, she got along with everyone really. Maybe like short of Catherine, I think maybe might have been the only person she didn't really have much of a relationship with.
Well,
But
Catherine didn't get along with any.
Yeah, she pretty much only had a relationship with Lauren and Riley, and that's it.
Yep.
But Ashley has done some great things over the last couple of weeks. She says the right things to the right people. She usually has, and I've given her credit about this before, she tends to have a really good read on what is happening in the game. It's just her personality is a little messy. She cleaned that messiness up in the last week and a half, and she's cleaning house at this point. She's saying the right things to the right people, and she's like, she's not necessarily manipulating, but she's like insinuating the things that they are afraid of. You know, she's dropping the right hints. Yeah, I do not see a scenario where Ashley doesn't get 0 votes. And 2 weeks ago, I would have thought she was a 0 vote finalist.
But you don't think she could beat Morgan, do you?
I don't think she could beat Morgan.
Here's where there's a crack, and I'm just going to throw this out there.
Go for it.
That you know that they have gotten in Vince's head so much that he's always talking about the judges now on his goodbye message.
Oh yeah,
and they're all talking about the judges.
Yep.
Well, Ashley is a member of the judges and made it with 2 big targets in front of her the whole way.
Yep.
That she can sit back and say, like, they're the ones getting their hands dirty, and I never had to win. I went to the block and won when I was on the block, and I participated in this alliance and was on the right side of all those votes with them. But none of you all hate me because I didn't play a messy game.
You're right, because she could go into this and Morgan could defend her game against Ashley. But I think if Ashley could defend her game right, let's face it, that's what she's gearing for as a career, is to state her case and win it.
Is she a trial lawyer, Brian? Do you know?
No, I don't think she's a trial lawyer. I think she's I think she worked like in a firm doing something, but wants to get into like sort of entertainment law hybrid stuff.
Okay, so she's not somebody who's used to being in front of a jury and doing closing.
Yeah, right.
No, but she's used to.
Well, I guess
something
mock court and stuff she had to do in school, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean the analysis and being able to compose her thoughts. I mean, you know, it's a law school exam question. Like, give me the supporting evidence for why you should win this show. I mean, it's the structure of why was this case held this way. So
it's so interesting having gone through this season with some of these people. Like Keanu, we all can say pretty clearly, if Keanu made it to final 2, he was going to win. Just because he has the bread and butter of basically the format of Big Brother. Like, Big Brother almost always goes for the challenge beast. It's just how it is. Sometimes it doesn't. Usually it does, because challenge beasts do not make it into final 2 unless they are really good, because they're targeted out so early in the game. I think he would have taken it over anybody, just given.
Right, and at the end, he couldn't win a challenge. I mean,
and he
it wasn't like he was close on the micro pitcher.
Yeah. He
wasn't. He
that's
wasn't.
not an athletic person's.
But they gave him 2 or 3 athletic challenges in a row,
and
that he blew.
Yeah,
like,
that one with Lauren and the battle. He did terrible on that one. It sucks because he was making it, but okay, so he's gone. But now we're left.
He'd be a great contestant on the challenge.
I would be shocked if he doesn't end up.
And also Amazing Race.
He's been. There's been jokes in the house this week on the live feed, like when they knew he was going to go, of saying, "Well, you'll get to go from this to the challenge."
Oh you got a career for a while. Yeah.
They've all been talking about him going to the challenge,
and his personality type, all of that. Like, yeah, that's.
I mean, look, man, the dude can give a soundbite.
Yeah.
Yep, he can. He really can. He did great at his interview with Julie. And guys, I think that I do not think there's any way anyone can beat him on America's Favorite Player. Like, the casuals love him.
They do.
They tend to have the numbers anyway. But you know, just the way he presented himself in that interview, it's like this kid's got it right. Like we're gonna be shocked if someone else does.
It's funny. It's funny to me that him and Kelly, who are two of the like least liked by the feed watchers because of their sort of inability to actually play the game,
Right.
that in their interviews, they maybe have been the two best interviews. And if those two people we saw in the interviews went into that house,
Yeah, right.
they might have actually done well.
Yep.
Well, and we've seen that before where somebody comes out and they're sitting there with Julie and you go, where was that person all season?
Where was that
You
person?
know, why wasn't that person in the house?
Yeah, you see that a lot, actually.
I think
Some
sometimes they
people
get
are
in
just
and they-
really good on paper, you know.
Or they get tight and they get worried. They kind of hide their personality because they don't want to piss people off or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, but he's got it. He's gonna have a career for a while doing what he do. And good for him.
I don't think he's alone with that. In that I could see Ashley or Morgan both on the Traders. I mean,
I could see Morgan maybe being in the challenge.
I think Vince is central casting for the Traders.
do you?
I kind of like it.
Okay. That'd be cool.
Let's talk about Vince for a second. And it sucks because I do wish that I had Christy here just to like staple in the conspiracy theories that she has cooking on Vince, because honestly, they're a lot more fun than what we really have. But let's talk about Vince for a second. Why is this jury going to be bitter towards Vince? Where and why and who do you think is going to hold the flame of contempt towards this man? Who do you think? Who's going to be the ringleader?
For sure, Keanu.
I don't blame him.
I mean,
But also Keanu kind of
him too.
Yes,
but,
exactly.
You know, but you don't always see that yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's probably like, I treated him like a brother, and you know.
But like, also, can we say like the Rachel was right of the entire thing? I think that's really important because he did recognize it. He recognized his fumble
as he realized it, and like he even said at the end, he goes, "She told me the HOH at 5 was the one to win, was the one you had to win," and as it turns out, it was for him.
Which, to his detractors, let me say, this did disprove one thing: Keanu did listen. He just didn't care about what was said.
Right.
You can't say he didn't listen. He remembered Rachel's lessons. He just completely disregarded them.
And that is why this is the thing. The casuals love him for a handful of reasons. Then we'll get back to Vince.
Well, because most of the casuals play Dungeons and Dragons, let's be honest.
He's a good-looking guy. He's charismatic. He's athletic. Like you were saying, Brian, he can drop a soundbite. Okay.
He's also a character. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those people that he's like Carolyn. He's a character.
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something. If I was on a big podcast, would get me yelled at and a lot of trouble. But I'm going to say this because it's absolutely true. He is the brother of sisters. And of all the men in that house, he more consistently was respectful to the women than most of the other men.
But he didn't listen
to
them.
But
he did not listen
to them.
But he had better manners.
Yes.
Towards them.
Yes.
And if they felt like he went too far, he was never too vain to not give an apology.
And that's just it. See, this is why he's so interesting, because as a casual viewer, you could see those moments where he was like, you know, let the girl go through the doorway first, these sorts of things. Now, if you're a feed watcher, you will know all the conversations he's had with the women and how they're talking real sense. And Rachel especially consistently trying to get him to see reason to help his own game. And he's always like, yeah, Rachel. Anytime a woman would give him advice, he'd roll his eyes and walk the other way, even though he'd sit and listen. You know, but he wouldn't.
And he obviously internalized it, because I mean, how many times did he say, "I should have done what she said"?
Yep. And so it's interesting about Keanu.
He is the most bro-coded guy.
That's it.
That in the world that at the end of the day, if there's a 10% chance his bro is going to help him against a 70% chance
did.
the woman's going to help him, he goes, man,
Oh,
I like my chances with
I
the
like my
bro.
odds.
I like
And
my odds.
he did that exactly, because how many times did he say, like, Vince Burnham 4, 5 times? It's my fault because I kept going back to you. The whole conversation around the pool table. I wish that the casuals could sit and listen, because you know what? In some ways, Keanu was like putting all this out to Vince to realize how much damage he had caused by doing this to Keanu, but also Keanu was admitting a lot of faults in his own game.
Here's what I think the casuals liked about Keanu that I liked about him too, is that of most of the people left, other than Morgan, no one owned their game like he did. I mean, now don't get me wrong, his game was like a 1992 Nissan Z, you know, but he was like, that's my car and I own it. And even when he made bad moves that didn't work out, he'd say, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, even though he'd blunder ahead. But he always owned what he did. Like when he put Vince on the block, like I thought one of the ballsiest moves for him was to expect Vince to trust him after he put him on the block and then left him on the block to say, I'm going to teach you a lesson.
He didn't just put him on the block. He didn't say, Vince, I need you on the block because I don't want to send you home. I just want you to go there to cause trouble. Or, he said, I'm putting you on the block to teach you a lesson.
Yeah,
but that's not good Big Brother play.
It's not good Big Brother play, but I'm saying what I think people liked about him is he didn't give the BS answer. He told the truth. Like, this is petty and it's personal and you screwed me over and you need to learn a lesson. Like, I think people in that house, there's this weird section of casuals that I've noticed. And yes, I've officially watched enough that even though this is my maiden voyage, I am not a casual.
You are not a casual.
I'm damn near brainwashed. I almost expect residual checks from Big Brother. After
I honestly think you're in like the top 5% of feed watchers, since you probably have your own web page at this point.
It's absurd, but I have seen so few.
What are you going to do on Monday?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there, just like the power of veto. I'm not telling you.
It's hard when those feeds go away. I'll tell you what.
You know what? Earlier, David, you said you like Jamie just as much as me, so I'm gonna have to think about it.
Let's see. That was the feeds actually get cut. What will they get cut Saturday? Like 24 hours before?
I would guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. Continue your your journey.
I think if you look at that house, so few people own their game. And I do think, regardless of the bad strategy, he did pick that up from Rachel, because when
she owned it.
Rachel took that big swing and everybody's like, oh, and even we were like, there's no way Riley is going home. She screwed her game. It's over. And it worked out. Rachel didn't hide. Like she made the biggest move of the season with an HOH. And I think from that point on, Keanu owned his game. And I think the casuals feel like this is a show more about honesty, building alliances and being true. And he just seems like one of the most honest people left.
Well, it can be. It certainly can be about honesty. It can also be the exact opposite. I mean, it can be.
Right.
What you'll find in a lot of these shows is that casual viewers are going to love two versions of somebody. There's going to be the villain that you're supposed to love. And we've had him in Dan Giesling, a villain that you're supposed to love. And then you have the hero. And I think Keanu fits in that hero category so clearly and cleanly. Now, I'm okay with that, because normally I'm like really irritated by the people that the casuals unite around. And you could see it about the middle of the season when it was like everyone was having a Riley love fest. That's what usually happens. That's the kind of person
right. He's a horrible person. We all know it from watching the feeds, but the casuals are loving on him.
Yes. And so that's really frustrating. And it's one of the, masochistic things about loving Big Brother. enough to watch hours of live feeds is that you really get to know people. And it sucks when somebody's like narcissism is so strong that it like bleeds out into the public and you're like, but this person isn't who you think they are. That's what it feels like. It's traumatic. Keanu, it's fine. He's young too. That's another thing. Like he's not like a baby, but he's still young. He's still got to take some hits in life that are going to make him more well-rounded. I feel like he's going to be okay. I feel like at the end of all of it, in his soul, he's a good person.
He'd actually be a decent Survivor player too, frankly.
Yeah, I think
he'd embrace the challenges and.
Yeah, absolutely. So you know what? I don't hate on Keanu.
No,
Now,
I mean, like it's he's probably gonna win if we're honest. Like,
yeah, if
we want
he's gonna
Rachel to
get
win,
right.
Well, okay, this was the hardest thing after loathing Rachel for like a decade or more, and I've been casting votes every day. I'm watching like the extra videos so I can cast the additional 5 votes for her every day. So.
It's because
Rachel Riley finally won me over. It took like a bunch of times, but
there was a great article posted that Brendan shared today, and I
think it's because she didn't laugh this season.
Maybe, but I think part of it is it's like the description of Rachel is from the casual viewer, because guess what? If you look at the casuals, they are talking a lot of hate. They speak a lot of hate on Miss Rachel. However, Rachel brings game wherever she goes. It doesn't matter what game she's playing. She makes sure that whoever she's playing with or against has to play at a certain level. And if they're not, she'll make an example of them. And I appreciate that about someone who is a competitor. You're going to hold everybody up to your standards. Go for it. Like that's especially when it's something that relies on people being entertained. She knows what she's doing. She's a professional. She's got it. But also, beyond the theatrics and the drama, which she like loves, she's a smart person and she understands how people work.
And the way she adapted her game this season was so impressive.
Yes.
It was not her game from when she'd played previously.
No, and
no bitterness, no vindictiveness, no
unrealistic amount of tears.
Right.
You know,
well, there were enough people crying that she didn't.
She didn't need to add to it. She's good at what she does. Now, you look at somebody like Vince. Vince is an example of somebody who Vince wants to play like Rachel. Vince wants to play like Dan Giesling. He wants to play like some of these greats. But Vince has a struggle where he wants to do these things, but he's also still so afraid of conflict that it makes him play like a weasel.
Right,
and
he won't
no one respects
move.
the weasel.
When he makes a move, he won't look the person in the eye and say, I did this and here's why.
Yes.
Where Rachel will say, I put you up because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
You may not like it, but here's why you're there.
Yeah, like, what do you want me to do? This is a game. It would be stupid for me to do something different.
Right.
And if Vince could have a little bit more of that, he either needed to have more of that or he needed to have a lot more like, he needed to have more of a velvet touch when dealing with conflict.
He needed a shaving razor. He really needed a shaving razor.
Do you think it was the mustache? Do you think that's...
I think the mustache... I honestly think the mustache hurt his game.
And maybe...
I don't think he needed less of anything. I think he needed 2 more things.
Some vertebrae?
No, some balls.
Yeah.
Vince has no balls.
He really doesn't. And it sucks because...
They'll drop soon, Vince, I swear. Or when Kelsey's done kicking you in them.
Right? They might rescind. Listen, it sucks because I really wanted to like Vince, and I have spent this whole season trying to find reasons to like him. And it turns out the only reason why I really love Vince is because I love listening to Taryn reenact Vince conversations. And that's not a good reason to like somebody. It's just not. I hope that when he leaves the house, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for him. I hope that he can take a breather and maybe learn a little bit something from it, and learn how to not beat himself up and just own his things. There's a big difference. Somebody who is always beating themselves up for the decisions that they make, that's not a strong person. That's not a humble person. Somebody who owns their mistakes and tries to do better, that's what Vince needs to do. But right now he's still very stuck in the like, but I didn't mean to do it, and everyone's gonna be mad at me.
Don't say that.
Everyone's gonna be so mad. Like, no, Vince, stop it.
As long as we're talking about Vince, let's go there now. Post game, his girlfriend's broke up with him or is going to.
Oh my God, the whole bit that we got this week, we got it. I could not believe that they actually gave us the like Vince's single edit.
I was gonna say, like Big Brother, that the title of that segment should have just been production is done with this bullshit.
Yeah,
and
it's so true.
They're like, Vince, welcome to Front Street. Here we go.
Yep.
And I honestly think they're going to be out of the house one day, and Morgan's going to be like, "See you, dude."
I kind of feel that way too.
I think this is all game for her.
Yeah, I mean, like if they had an alone moment, like I'm going to be real. If they had an alone moment, there might be some like a little bit of a physical attraction for like a minute, you know.
Yeah, but the hotness differential doesn't work.
But I don't think that Morgan has any real plans of sticking close to Vincent past phone calls in the future. I really don't. Like yesterday, he was like trying to put his arm on her, you know, just like rest his arm on her in the bedroom. And she literally like removed his arm and she was like, it's too hot in here. Like she is not, other than sleeping on the bed with the pillow wall, she's not really reciprocating. It's like he's always trying to say something to her without getting in trouble for saying it. But he goes far enough in insinuating that he might as well just say it. But that's Vince in a nutshell, right? Like, right. It's like, dude, you're basically already saying what you want to say. So just say it instead of thinking that you've left yourself room to wiggle out of this. Just be honest.
You know, and the whole thing that started their last argument was he'd said he'd bring Lauren, like bringing Lauren was no different than bringing Morgan, which was, I was like, oh my God, like, are you the dumbest man in the world? And when he said that, like, it really did, like, the episode shortens it because my God, if you've watched these feeds, these people are insane with the length of their conversations. Like
how many hours did that go?
Everyone is hours and hours. Like I clock out and let Taryn fill me in at some point because I can't stay up all damn night. But the point being that Vince, the way he interacts with her is exactly how he's playing the game. He wants one foot in his old life. You notice tonight he's twirling his, you know, the hairband on his hand tonight. Like, I mean, he wants to keep option one open, and
he doesn't know option one is no longer an option.
Now, I think when he saw that video, he did, because he got real quiet and wandered around the kitchen, not talking to anybody for like 15 minutes.
Between the Zingbot joke and then the no Kelsey on the From Home video,
I think he's got pretty good sense, and he's already building his defense. But when when Morgan finally confronts him and said, he goes, well, I'm just joking. And I said, in that moment in my head, this phrase came out because it may have happened in a past relationship. That, you know, just joking is for when a liar gets caught telling the truth. That is what just joking is. The offensive
truth, yes.
Yes, is when a person who is usually a liar gets caught telling the truth. Yes. That is just joking. That is what that's code for. And that is exactly what happened to Vince.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, it's so tough. This kid. Oh, listen, it's not like he's done something extremely terrible. It's hurtful and it's painful for the woman he is supposed to be in a relationship with. And my heart goes out to her because that's a hard road. And I couldn't imagine having that road be so public. But she'll be okay. She will. She's going to have to lick her wounds too. She'll be okay. I'm a little bit worried for him because I don't think that he has the cojones to learn from it. I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Well, and I think he's going to face a lot of social media anger when he gets out. And
But listen, as obnoxious as he is, and I'm going to say it, no matter how dumb his stuff has been, he best not go out and get more repercussions socially from this than Riley did for his behavior.
but he will, I think.
And that is very frustrating for me and makes me feel for him.
I'm not
for,
saying
like,
it's right. That's my
Right.
assessment because he stayed so much longer.
Well,
And
here's
I think that's the difference between somebody going, but I don't want you to be mad at me. And well, whatever, you're wrong.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
if he could just be like, well, you're wrong. Like people would move on from it faster than, but I don't want you to be mad.
The indecision is what's so frustrating, and I mentioned this earlier in the season, and I'd asked you all when I joined you one time if you'd ever watched Vince with his clothes,
Yeah.
and they
yep.
finally said something
Yep.
that he actually is OCD.
I've seen it multiple times now watching live feeds. There's little things that I recognize. Standing on the stairs. He stands on the
Is the
stairs
hat
a lot.
part of that?
I
I
think
think
it might
so.
be.
I think it's a
It's
protection.
like a security thing.
Yeah, like the people who wear a hoodie up all the time, or
Have you seen how many beanies he has in his drawer? He
No.
took them out the other day. He has one for almost every color. Like he's
Mhm.
got, as a beanie guy, clearly, I don't own that many beanies. Like he is, I mean, I think that's comfort that's
Yep.
on his head.
Mhm.
It's almost like protection,
Well,
like,
where you live, Brian, if you had 6 beanies, they'd call you highfalutin.
right. If I
Brian's
had,
all highfalutin. He's got 6 beanies. He thinks
like,
he's better
Mr.
than me.
Mr. thinks
Yep.
you're better than me since I only
Yep.
got 4 beanies.
Maybe that's what the mustache. Maybe the mustache are like bangs. He's hiding behind
Here's
Well,
the
my
the
Vince.
mustache.
This is the best I can do for a Vince face right here.
Oh, I'm gonna go full out next week. Everybody, just you wait.
The mustache, but again, that could be a hiding mechanism.
That's
You know
what I
I'm
mean. Like
saying?
it's like
Yeah.
bangs. He's gonna hide behind something. But
I
I
would
No,
doesn't
I
do
get
wouldn't
think
know
hate.
about the bags, Jamie. It's been
I hope he doesn't get
couple
hate for
decades.
how he played the game.
yes.
And I hope the people in his life sit down with him and say, like, you really did Kelsey wrong. And if that's what you want, cool. Like, you're our son, you're our brother, whatever. Like, but it's out there on Front Street and you don't need to make
Just
things
own it.
worse.
You just own what you did. You made a mistake. You got
Right,
too
like-
close to somebody in the house. You're away from your significant other for too long, and you got lonely. There's so many things that are so human. It's just the difference between owning those things and not owning those
and
things.
if that's what he was saying to Morgan,
Yes.
I think he wouldn't be getting the wrath of people if he was being honest.
Listen,
about what
if
he's
he
feeling.
if he were to just say, Morgan, here's the thing. I think I do have some feelings, but they're very confusing because I love Kelsey and I miss Kelsey and I've made promises to her. And I think part of it is because we've been away from each other for so long and you and I only can trust each other in the house. But I don't want to get my messages confused. And, something along those lines. I feel like the viewers who have been watching this would have so much more respect for the realness of that.
Yes, that's
empathy.
That's what I guess you articulated it way better than I did.
He could go that way, but unfortunately, I think that's a theme in Vince's, not to diagnose him, but I do think that's a theme that he has probably struggled with his entire life and may continue to struggle with. Maybe this will help him get some healing from that coping mechanism, but if he is as old as he is and he's not working and he's having a struggle being able to be devoted to one thing to do for the rest of his life, I mean, he's wishy-washy. I mean, that's a lame term, but he is wishy-washy about quite nearly everything. So hopefully this helps him find a little bit of a foundation that he can stay firm on, because you know what? I don't think he's a bad person. He can do things that cause pain to people.
I don't think he is evil in his heart or anything
No,
at all.
No, not at all.
At all.
Vince is a guy. Vince is a guy like that. It would be perfectly cool to hang out with. He's just not the guy you depend on. That's exactly.
He's not the guy you call at 3 a.m. to pick you up when you got in a bar fight.
You just like if it's
not that
crucial.
Ever
if it's crucial, you don't depend on Vince, but he's fine to have in your circle of friends, I'd say. Just
Yeah.
that. Now, I will say, like, if you're going to move apartments, I bet Keanu comes and helps you if he's your friend. I don't
Yeah,
think
I
Vince
I think
does.
that's true. I think I get that vibe off him.
Yeah, I do too.
Or
I
you
feel
gotta
like
give him
Ashley
pizza
would
and beer, probably. but
Ashley
yeah.
would hire somebody for you.
Well,
Ashley would hire somebody. Go, that's my person. I'm just sitting
Yeah,
here.
I know a guy, and I will. Yeah, she'd hire
Okay,
somebody. I think
tell me
Morgan would probably come
that
help,
wasn't-
but she would want to do a sleepover though. She would not. You cannot call Morgan up out of the blue and ask for a favor. You have to be like, "Hey, girl, I haven't seen you forever. You want to come hang out at my apartment? We can go out and get drinks, and you could crash on my pad. And then tomorrow after lunch, could you help me move these things?" You have to wine and dine her, otherwise she ain't coming. She'll get
Well-
too hurt feelings over that.
It was hilarious when she went to hug Ashley, and Ashley like went down, and she was, "Oh, I forgot you're a not sweat person."
one of Captain Will's best things of the evening or of the year, one of his was when he said that Ashley was Hillary from Fresh Prince.
I know. Oh my God. So
So not wrong.
okay,
So
it is
perfect.
at 36-minute mark. So we are going to take like 6 seconds and pause for a commercial break.
So before we move on to the end game, we probably should talk a little bit about the last player evicted. We probably should.
I think that we owe it to Miss Ava Pearl.
I'm gonna let David have the floor because he's waited a long time for this moment.
I just want to throw it out to our constant listener and my good friend Maddie. We finally did it. She's gone. She's gone with all her false fakeness. I know no one else agrees with that, but I'm going to stick with it. I think we're going to find out she's a model or something on Tuesday because I'm still not buying her.
Do you think that her and Vince were hired by the same agency?
It could be. I feel about her like a lot of people feel about Vince. You know what? At the end of the day, she's still mean. And a little gross. A little gross with that, with that water with the mold in it. So
50 days.
Funny.
Come on.
I mean, it was just sitting there. I mean, listen, if you share, this is the thing, if it was her own apartment, okay? If it was her own apartment and she left that there for 50 days, yes, it's gross.
It's grosser if she did it in the presence of others. In her own apartment, it's her space.
If it was sitting in the same place where there was how many other people living there for the majority of those 50 days and nobody picked it up, they is all gross.
But wasn't it hers?
All of them. They're all nasty.
Anyhow.
And that's nothing new. I mean, one of my very favorite clips of all Big Brother isms is a clip where Ian picks up a cup and he opens the lid and he smells it and gags ferociously. Still one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life because he went in and smelt it again, just to be sure.
I think my final word on Ava is I think she wasn't a good player, and I think she had a little meanness to her. She had a mean streak underneath that she tried to cover up with like her eclectic nature.
I think that she's
even the things she did after the veto ceremony, calling the house thing and making up lies about Vince. To what end? At that point, you're going home.
By the way, not to interrupt you, not a lie about Vince. Vince actually did.
Did he really?
She actually went and worked on him and said, you probably can't beat Morgan. He's like, I've been thinking that.
She entrapped him and then made it seem like he came to her with that.
He did not say no to Ava, is all I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Ava is, I don't necessarily know if it's a mean streak. A little bit of a mean streak. I think it might be a little bit of a rude streak, maybe.
Okay, could be the New York thing. I agree.
Yeah, maybe a little blunt, a little rude. But she definitely tries to make people like her, get along with her. I think what's tough with someone like Ava is that like maybe she's not this super friendly. I can live with a big group of people. I'm super social and love everybody. That might not be her comfort zone. And maybe you could tell she was trying. Some people, when you can tell they're trying, it makes them feel pretty disingenuous. I would say that that's pretty safe, that maybe she really wasn't as comfortable as she tried to make it look living with all these people. I don't
give
think
Ava credit. I give Ava credit that way.
Yeah, I think she was just trying her best to be out of her comfort zone and be comfortable within it. I also think that Ava has 0% problems being authentic to who she is and what she likes. I don't think she really cares what other people's opinions of her are. I think she cares just about being comfortable. And that's hard to do when you are in a house with a bunch of other people, and the whole point is you better not look too comfortable, but you also better look comfortable. Maybe not. They say, oh, your social game is so great. I don't agree that her social game is super, super great. I mean, it got her to where it did.
No, she got to where she was because no one viewed her.
But I think it's because she was
there was no reason to waste a vote to send her home.
Yeah, I wouldn't say her social game was the best in the house by any means. It just was non-threatening.
No, Ashley's was better.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Keanu's was better.
I disagree with that, but that's only because here's what I believe was good about Ava. I think the ugly streak that continued to grow as the season went on with Ava, I think there were less places for her to hide.
Yes.
And she had to interact more with people.
Okay.
And I think that, if Ava could sleep 16 hours a day and only be bothered with Big Brother 2 or 3 hours a day,
yep, exactly.
she would probably been pleasant the whole time.
So you figured the 24 hours was just too much for her.
And and if you think about it, as there are less and less people, she gets more and more agitated. And I think she feels guilty or felt guilty for Rachel going out and kept projecting that onto other people, because it was her winning thing that started the chain that took Rachel out.
Right.
And so, to feel good about that, as we've talked about, she says ugly things. She says ugly things about most of them. But, I thought when she walked outside the house and I felt like she was putting on a happy face act. I didn't feel like she was genuine then.
Yeah.
No, I thought she was lying. I thought she
Yeah.
lied to Julie when Julie said, "Did you really mean it when you said don't talk to me?" And she was like, "Oh, no, I was just busting his chops."
That girl cannot hide her feelings from her face. She meant it.
I agree with you 100%. But that in that moment, you see, she knows herself.
She knows she can't be perceived that way, so she's got to try to.
Yeah, and so I think in the house, she did try and did some stuff. What I think the beauty of what Ava's game was is this, and we can put Ava to rest. R.I.P. Ava. Is she developed a reputation of being a straight shooter, and did so in a way that, although no matter what she was feeling, she always said, "It's the game. It is the way it is. No hard feelings."
Right.
And
what are you gonna do?
Right. Like, I think people felt like she would be a more honest broker than other people when they were deciding whether to put her up or not. And you got to give the girl credit. If you think she's terrible, like, the guy who probably liked her the most was Captain Will. And you know why he didn't like Ava? Because they could hang out and there was no drama.
Yep. And they did. They hung out the most together, I think, more than any other pair except for Morgan and Vince.
Yeah. And
I guess Catherine and Riley, because she was being held hostage, but that's my own take.
You know why she liked Riley? Because he left her the hell alone. That's why she liked Riley. She didn't know him.
That's true.
But
Ava
she knew
wasn't bothered by him. Yep.
Riley was not coming in there waking her up and saying, "Ava, let's talk game."
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah, I really just think that Ava is, she has her limits and they're small. Like her boundaries are she doesn't get comfortable with people pushing in on her boundaries. Yeah, sometimes she did say some mean things. And I will also say I think Ava was really pushing hard in the last week or two to try to get some America's favorite player votes. I do think she was trying to make the cash grab
really?
with some of it.
Oh, she was playing for the camera.
Yeah. I mean, like, so that's definitely there too. But one thing that I've definitely learned with most of these house guests, not all of them, but most of them, short of what, like Ashley maybe, they have a really terrible read on how the public views them.
Oh yeah.
It's so
Do you
bad.
think Ashley does?
I think Ashley has a decent read on most
Right.
things. I really do.
I was
It's
going to
just
say, okay,
how
I thought you said Ashley
No,
had a terrible
No,
read.
short of Ashley. I
okay.
think Ashley probably has a pretty good idea. And I think that Vince is coming to the light of having a pretty good
Vince
idea.
is like, oh, I'm scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vince said yesterday he didn't want to leave the house. He just wanted to stay.
I don't blame him.
And
I mean, I
think
don't want to
he's
leave the
gonna-
house either.
Right.
Well, let me in, lock me up. I don't want to leave. I don't want to know the things. But yeah, in the final week of Big Brother, I find that it's usually pretty boring. I don't think this week's been very boring. I mean, it's not been like the peak of excitement throughout the season, but it's been interesting, like on a psych level. It's been interesting watching people kind of like come to terms a little bit more than I've seen people in the past, like how their game is like playing out, because these people are so emotionally messy. We get to see a little bit more of what's going on in their head and the questions they have for themselves and the fears that they're experiencing when they leave the house. That's been kind of interesting. And I don't think Vince is going to win, but I don't think anybody's a clean sweep at this point.
I think Morgan could be.
She could be against Vince.
Well, Morgan against Vince, she might get the Lauren vote. I had forgotten about the Lauren vote.
Yeah.
She might get the Lauren vote, but that'd be the only one.
But I don't know. Like, listen, a girl can dream, but all I want is for Morgan to get the 2 and to cut Vince. That's all I want. I want her to take Ashley. I want both of those women to have to fight for their win, because whoever gets it out of either one of them, I have to concede they did the best job. And I for once in the history of all these shows, I want the woman who has worked in alliance with the man, and the man is like, starts that relationship as a manipulation tactic to go further, but then somehow starts to develop feels for that woman. I want her to cut him so badly.
Yeah.
I've watched it for years and years and years, and the same thing plays out. I want her to own it and cut him, because the biggest flaw, I think, as my winner's pick, and I feel like maybe Brian would agree with this, the biggest flaw she has as a player, and maybe one of her biggest struggles in life, is the need of the appreciation of a man.
Yeah, she should have cut Vince right here. I mean, let's be honest.
I want her to break free from that.
The only
The problem is no one's bringing her. She has to win her way in. Nobody's bringing her to the final.
Yeah, and she's been.
I think Vince will betray her.
I kind of think he will too.
I do too.
Because he's got no spine.
Yep.
I think he's going to betray her, because right before they cut the feeds, they were talking about possibilities after the show. And she said, well, I don't know. I can't even talk about it because that's not even possible. Talking about him having a girlfriend. Now, like, okay, here's my baller move.
She just gave him permission.
Here's my baller move if you're Morgan.
All right.
You get the final 3, you evict him, and you say, Vinny, if you really care about me the way, if it's not about game, if it's not about game and you do care about me, then you will understand why I'm doing this. It's you. And if you don't vote for me, then I know you don't understand. And this is all about
that
game.
would be smart.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my God. Could you
I said, if she cuts him, I mean, I need to mention this in case our viewers don't know. because Taryn, I think, said this yesterday, and it kind of blew my mind. She has now set the record for consecutive weeks of being immune from the block. She has went 9 weeks, I think he said, or maybe it was 7 weeks. Let's just, once jury started, Morgan has never
Hit the block.
Nope.
never been subject to being voted out.
She has the resume, Brian. I mean, I can't understand why anybody in the jury, unless they were bitter, would vote against her.
She has the social part. She
She's
has
played the best game.
She has the wins. Yep.
If you don't appreciate this season for a lot of reasons, I understand. But I will say, as a newbie to this, that the gameplay sucked at the beginning, and everybody agreed on that. Okay. But this cast wasn't the best cast, and you can't blame the people there for who the other 15, 16 people are. It's not their fault.
Right.
But you look at the back half of Morgan's game.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know how you don't say, even compared against seasons where it was great, that she hasn't played an amazing game.
There's no question. I think the big asterisk on this season will always be the way Rachel was evicted. I think that's going to be, that'll be, like it'll get an asterisk, like the steroid-induced home run record.
Right, which sucks for whoever the winner is, because the story is not about them. It's about that.
Right.
And, and that's, if you want a reason to vote for Rachel, on all these stupid shows, she's still being positive and supporting Big Brother, even after Big Brother did that to her.
Yep.
She's been, I think the thing that probably won David over, and I mentioned this, I think it's because Rachel became a mom. And you got to see a side of her where she mentored people. She was more patient,
far more mature, patient player. She wasn't shrill. She wasn't, she
wasn't attention seeking.
Right. She left all of that behind. It was all game.
Because the thing is Rachel's always had the game. She's always had the brain. She's always had the game. She's always had the
passion. But her fatal flaws were those other things.
Yeah, for the competition. Now, when it comes to Big Brother, this is one of the reasons why people should appreciate Rachel. And if you just can't appreciate her, then you need to appreciate people like her if you're a fan of these games. Because I guarantee you, when she's standing in that jury and she has the opportunity to ask somebody a question, her vote off of that question, she's likely not 100% yet when she asks her question. She will listen to what they have to say, because no matter this is where Vince doesn't get it, because he's like, oh, she's got Ashley. He's obsessed with her taking Ashley because they work together.
I tend to agree with him that
Rachel is going to take. Yeah, it's not about who works with her. Rachel is 100% going to vote for the person who played the best game of Big Brother.
But if Morgan isn't there, she's going to say, Vince, you have no spine, and I'm going to vote for Ashley.
In that case, maybe. But if it's Ashley against Morgan, it's really going to depend on which woman can lay out their game and own it and show how clearly who played the best game. She's always going to stay true to the game over the person.
I think both of you are right. I think that Rachel probably would lean Ashley, but the thing Vince doesn't understand is it's not that Rachel's mind's made up.
Nope.
She does have probably a preference. I mean, but she's willing to listen. And
she's the one in the jury house who's quizzing the people as they come in and getting more information.
Yeah. I have a hard time believing that, when Keanu walks into that jury house, she doesn't go, I told you. I told you, you can't trust him. This is your fault. This is your fault that you're here.
Think about this. For Vince, if you're Vince, the last 4 people that have went out in order, okay? Kelly goes out and says, hey, everybody, Vince is lying to you and had all these alliances. Lauren goes out, who's his number one ally, and is like, maybe I shouldn't have listened to him. And then you get Keanu, who says,
what about Kelly? What about Kelly?
Well, yeah, that's what I said first.
On the way out. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Yeah. And then Keanu flames him on the way out. And now Ava.
And now Ava,
okay, I'm sorry. I had that backwards.
Yeah. And then Ava goes out and flames him. The last 4 people Like, I mean,
And you know what?
Lauren may still vote for him, but 3 of those people didn't say a word to anybody but him about what a piece of crap he was.
Yep.
Well, and what's interesting is nobody said a negative word about Morgan.
Yeah.
And you would think she
we've
would
seen this
she would
happen
be
before.
like asshole by association, you know.
Well,
No,
I
I mean,
will.
Kelly almost admires it. You remember what Kelly said? Morgan gets what Morgan wants.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she sold it. I mean, in the past, we've seen some people play who have burned their game on the way out to jury because their goodbye messages kind of taunt the person or says like, we've had one example. There was a player, Brian, a couple years ago who the first season, like everybody would go, okay, this guy's going to win. He's making all the moves. He's making all the moves. He's making all the moves. And he doesn't win. He doesn't win at the end. And he was shocked that he doesn't win. And then he turns around and he gets to return. He gets to come back. And he's the only like return player, kind of like Rachel was this year. And he makes it all the way to the end again. And it looks like, oh, I should win. I should win. I should win. And again, he doesn't win. He sits in the final 2 a second time and doesn't win because the lesson that's not being learned is the jury management. And you've heard Vince talk about it ad nauseum, the jury management, the jury management. The problem is it's not just burning people on the way out. It's not just burning. Like there's a lot of people that get burnt in that moment. It's that slow burn. You've been burning them the entire season and pretending like it wasn't you. And that's what makes people bitter. That's what makes people
There's
mad.
been people who've won, who've danced on the graves of everyone they've kicked out. And they have, and as you said, have taunted them in the videos afterwards.
But if you're like somebody like if you're somebody like him who, you know, loses twice because you don't learn your lesson.
Win that way?
What's that?
Didn't Dan win that way?
Dan would tell people like, it was me. I did this. It was all my plan the entire time. And this is why I did this to you. It was always like, I'm sorry I betrayed you, but here's why I did this.
Right.
He sold it on the way out. He didn't taunt them.
Right.
You know?
Well, Vince
isn't taunting, but what Vince is doing is you know what he's doing? It's like the Nicole Franzel, like I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Oh my God, this is so hard.
And he's not cute enough to pull it off.
But he's not cute enough to get away with it. Yes,
I was listening to a discussion of this, and I thought if I had a great bumper sticker for what Vince has done for his game, and I thought that this describes Vince's game to a T. If you don't take any of the blame, you don't get any of the credit. Fair. And that's the problem with Vince. Like in a game like this, blame equals credit in a perverse way. That if you're responsible for something, that helps you. The natural societal.
If you own it.
If you don't take the blame, you don't get the credit. And he wants to be blameless and have his hands clean and never have been the one who had to do it.
Which is just a shame because you can take the blame humbly. You can take it with pride and humbleness at the same time. There's so many ways to say like, this is the move I had to make for my game. And like, you are a super big threat. And here's why I had to get rid of you.
Which is why I think Ashley can make such a compelling argument.
You're right. Yeah.
Because she can say, look, like I can't win a damn competition. I've got these 2 people in front of me that could possibly win one. And then they did. They went on a streak. And here I sat safe and protected.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even have to break a nail.
Right. Like
I didn't have to sweat.
Yeah. Yes.
Brian, who is your winner's pick? I don't
Morgan.
Recall.
Remember, we adopted her. She's our child.
Right.
Yes, indeed. We independently both picked Morgan out of the catalog, and so we adopted her.
I have to say, from an odds standpoint, you know, you guys are not even getting even money on that bet.
No, she ain't paying
I would
for
say
all
Ashley's
retirement.
probably 5-1 and Vince 3.5 maybe.
Look, the turning point, if I went back and watched this season and wanted to study it, I would like to see Morgan's change from the day Zach left.
That's it. That's
I
where
think her
changed.
game went straight
when she was mooning after him, that
Right,
was ick. That had a big ick factor.
And
Well-
what did I say, Brian? I said that boy's got to go because our girl is blinded.
We both
she
said
needs to
that.
play the game. Yep.
Jamie sent me and said, I do not like this. That boy's got to go. And I agree with her, because here the funny thing is, in the Zach and Morgan relationship, like Zach was the alpha. In the Vince Morgan's
Morgan's
the
the
alpha.
alpha.
I was so
So it-
much more, yeah.
So it's like it's so much better for her that she's not
oh, I
sort of,
agree.
you know, a back seat in the
That's why I
partnership.
just want her. That's why I want her to cut him so much. I get, okay, if she doesn't, I get it. That's probably the way it's going to go. She's probably not going to cut him. But I want her to so badly, because I have invested my heart and my mind and my soul into this beautiful young woman. And I want her to set herself free from this idea that she has to have a man around to be strong and independent. I want her to cut the ties from that. And I want her to be like, you aren't strong enough to be by my side.
No.
Goodbye. That's
Based
all
on your
I
background,
want.
it looks like Dexter about to take you out.
Yeah, well, girls, you
No,
got
I
to
think-
clean. She's got to clean house before she could get
If-
to the end goal.
What she's
you
doing
gotta
is she's
do.
waiting for Vince to walk forward and receive his punishment.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, I put it out there on the socials. This picture is my vibe all week. This is what I want Vince's game vibe to be. I want him seeing this image in his head when he goes to sleep at night. I want him to know that it was her. I'm just saying. I need
Yep.
it. We need it. We need this kind of justice.
Morgan,
this day.
pin the tail on the weenie and get him out of there. Your mom and I are so proud of you. Just
Get on
cut
home,
Vince.
girl.
So
Cut the man and come home for Thanksgiving.
So before we talk about wrapping up, I have two questions that I want both of you to opine on.
All right.
Okay. And the first one is kind of a gotcha question. It's just being funny. And we'll start with Brian. Name the first person voted out.
The first.
I can't
person-
do it, by the
Hold
way.
on. Let's
Okay,
see.
good. And I
It was
asked you to go
before
first because
Amy.
Jamie will know.
It was before Amy. Amy was. Hold on. Oh my God! Why? See, you screwed me up doing
But this is what happens. This is what happens in the world of Big Brother. You don't remember who these people are.
You put me on the spot, and Amy was second. I'm okay, Jamie. I give.
It was Zay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I knew Jamie would know. That's why I had you go first. It was kind
Like
of a
I was
setup.
going through the memory wall in my head, and it's so long ago.
That's just it. That's what we say when we were
We
watching.
say that
the
we-
first
we-
week.
we-
We're like, we aren't going to remember who this is by the end. We're not.
No,
even
there
gonna
was
know
there
this.
was the one Survivor player who went home
Yes.
first that we all liked and we all remember.
But
But
the
it's
thing is,
really
though,
tough.
is that like the only thing that we can remember about him is what? Now you go back to think. All right, think about what do you remember? You remember Rachel confronting him about doing it when I'm in a gown, and two, the fact that him and Zach like had some weird like over emotional connection.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
Zach sobbed when he left.
He sobbed so much. Oh my god, he cried so hard. Big tears, real tears.
So
I mean, it
my
was
second
impressive.
question is far more serious. So we'll let Jamie go first on this one.
Okay.
How does the game change if production doesn't throw that twist in and Rachel remains in the house? Because I think that's something we got to talk about. So you first, then Brian.
In the way that it was heading, I feel like there's a pretty good chance that we would have lost Ashley. I think they would have clipped Ashley as a way to get to Rachel. I don't think Rachel had another week in her where she wasn't going to be number target for everybody. Number one for everybody to go after Rachel. Mostly because it's like people were like upset when it happened, when she got cut the way she did. But there was so much relief also in that house after she left. Like, everyone didn't want to be the one to be like, okay, guys, we have to go over after Rachel because she made them fear saying anything. But like, I think as it typically goes, when you have somebody in the house that's at that level or on Survivor, what do? You can't go after them. You have to weaken them first. So you go after the right-hand man, in this case, woman. I think Ashley would have been cut. I don't think she'd make it in the final three. And then after that, it's hard to say because it really depends if Rachel would have been able to win an HOH at the right time.
Right.
But
Who wins and right.
I do not think that we'd have Ashley anymore. I think there's a good possibility Ava would be in the final 3. I think that's the biggest switch right now that I could see.
Brian?
I think the season shakes out different if Rachel stays, because I believe she puts an end to that nonsense of Vince and Lauren real quick. And if it doesn't
One
end,
of them would have gone. Yeah.
that if it's not going to end, she breaks up, Vince and Morgan and the judges break up, and then it's, who knows, it's a free for all. So I think the
You think
festering
Will
of
would
the
have still
Lauren,
been there? That's one that I'm wondering about because they all talk about social game. Honestly, Will was the dangerous social game out of everybody.
Will was more dangerous than Ava because everybody liked him. But you're right. He and Ashley would have been primary targets to take away Rachel's numbers if she stayed. And the judges were at a disadvantage with the house still having Lauren, Keanu, and Kelly. There still would be a pretty even battle for comps between those 3 and Rachel, Vince, and Morgan. And, Morgan shined throughout the end game and even beat Keanu, but you add Rachel and Kelly
But hasn't Rachel won the micro puzzle before?
I don't think that they did the micro puzzle with her, if I can remember.
Maybe it was Nicole I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Nicole does well on that. The thing is with Rachel is that her original season, she was a comp B. She did good in Amazing Race, the same thing. I think she's kind of a bit like Janelle, where she she idolized Janelle. Like Janelle was her favorite player when she went in, so she wanted to play the game like her. And Janelle was the first record holder in the game. But when Janelle came back, she couldn't win a comp to save her life. And I think we've realized Rachel was in that same boat. Rachel in her first season would have killed that hamster wheel in a second. But so that's where I wonder, because I'm I don't know if Rachel could compete. There wasn't enough just purely mental challenges that I think would have given Rachel the push ahead she would have needed for safety.
Well, I wonder, the thing I've wondered is if somebody had pushed Keanu out of that game earlier, if there wouldn't have been so many consecutive physical challenges on the backside.
I think you might be onto something.
Because I feel like, there were a couple of points where there were back-to-back physical comps, yes, giving Keanu every chance because producers knew he was a fan favorite to the casuals. So,
yep, just like Tucker was last year.
So, if Rachel stays, there are comps, her competing in might be favorable. Now, I don't think she could have won with this group because the people closest to her, the only way Rachel could win is if she ultimately formed an alliance with Keanu and Lauren and they actually all stayed true to it.
If Keanu had heard the words that Rachel said and took them to heart,
her strategy,
the 2 of them would be sitting in the
comps.
final 2. They would have been sitting in the final 2. They would have swept that house clean. Unless somebody could have gotten them during double eviction, I could very easily see Rachel and Keanu just pushing these little weenies aside and going right to the end. A different season, maybe they couldn't have had that. But with this cast, yes, they could have.
For sure. But I think that's what's your answer to that question, David?
I brought it up because I don't know. I've thought about it a lot, and I really think she was on the verge of eviction. I think she's getting a week or 2 away.
Yeah, I think she was the target.
I think once that other side of the house won, and it's inevitable that they would have, she'd have been put up. Maybe she takes herself down once, but I think within a couple weeks, I felt like she would be out. Had she slipped through that, had she gotten past 2 more evictions, I think she'd be in the end game.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. It's what she could have done with those. There. Yeah, those couple right in front of her.
Right, because she was in immediate distress, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I do think it fundamentally changed the course of the game.
And guys,
it was not a great production idea.
And I don't think that Ashley would have stayed as her right hand for long either, because I don't feel like Ashley was I think Rachel needed Ashley to be her number one and be loyal to her, but I think Ashley would have jumped ship if she felt like her game was in danger. I don't
Yeah, but
think it was like,
Ashley stayed loyal to Morgan and Vince, and
but she was never in danger being there.
yeah, but arguably, she probably should have jumped at 5.
Maybe, but I mean, here she is sitting at the final 3. So, and
If
like making a game
Keanu
for
was
herself.
capable of being trusted at 5, a move would have been made. But
Yeah.
Yep.
Keanu, Ava, Ashley, and then you knock Keanu out, she wins. She wins over Ava for sure.
And unfortunately, Keanu lost his game because he couldn't trust Rachel. And that made him untrustworthy to the side of the house that was strong enough to keep him. And that's the part I think that he will discover over the years of contemplating this. The side of the house that was strong enough to keep him in the game is the side he didn't trust.
Right.
And Ashley and Ava, neither of them were 100% trustworthy either towards Rachel or that side of the house. Maybe Lauren. But this is the thing about Big Brother that I always like love and think where when it comes to the social aspect and then gaming to it, where it's a little bit different than Survivor and a little superior than Survivor, a little more difficult socially, is
Well, it's
because
much more social game than Survivor. Survivor's
right.
a much more physical game. It's like, can you survive? Can you handle well, it used to be.
Yes. Can you do all of these things and remain socially acceptable within your tribe to stick around? In Big Brother, it's all social with some, like you can get yourself out of trouble with the physical part of it, but that's basically what the physical part does, is keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, the real trick is not getting yourself in trouble to begin with.
But you don't need a strong player in the house to help you survive or hunt or fish or whatever. So the social aspect's so important from day one in Big Brother. But then what happens is everything is going a certain way for a certain amount of time, and then the house flips entirely and the whole game starts over again. And you sometimes will have a moment like that, in Survivor, but Big Brother is like this from week to week. It's like you're restarting something. All of a sudden, an alliance that you started 5 weeks ago is relevant now.
Yeah.
And
it's crazy going from 8 to 5 people makes such a difference in the live feeds.
That's like double eviction is that is the moment of the game, because you have all these things that are like set up, set up.
To me, Big Brother double eviction is the best consistent episode of TV that happens in reality TV.
Yeah.
I look forward to it every year. And it's so compelling because you really is no predicting what's going to happen.
Well, and you always have where it seems like if you even have a semi-decent season, when you get to double eviction, you either have somebody that you are really actively rooting to get out of the house, or you're actively rooting for someone to save themselves because their butt is on the line.
Right.
It's always like a World Series game. It's way more exciting than the final 3.
Yeah. Well, the double eviction, I think what's fascinating about it is after the first one happens, you're on the same clock as them trying to figure out the possibilities and who's going to go with what, and based on what everybody's talked about, who's going to go where. And so you watch them solve the problem in their head the way you're solving it sitting on your couch at home.
Very true. Very true. And it's interesting. I read that production, the reason they put in the twist that ultimately cut Rachel was because they had too many players and not enough time. Why not do another double eviction?
They've done it before where they had
it would be so much more compelling.
Yep. Yeah. They've done surprise double eviction plenty of times. They could have done it. I don't know. I'm sure that they have their reasons, and I'm sure some of those reasons are stupid and only have anything to do with money.
It's too hard for production to carry
it's money. It's always money. The answer is always the money. But you know what? Rachel goes out, never have been evicted. She wasn't. She wasn't forced to sit on the block and like campaign for her game and beg and plead for them to vote her out. And yeah, it does suck that she sat in jury the entire time. But if you were going to have somebody that could like really steer you clear of like mushy emotions and make you see the game for what it is, she's the one that's the spokesperson to have, the jury queen.
When she could ultimately determine where the game goes, I think she's going to.
I agree.
Because you know what? Keanu's going to vote for whoever she tells him to vote for.
Yep. So now
this
what do we
point.
think about the round table being replaced by Dr. Will and having Cody?
Yeah.
Do we like that? I'm not. No, but listen, I don't need to tell anybody here I'm not a big fan
Of Cody or Dr. Will or both.
of Cody. I mean, listen, Cody, he's pretty. He's pretty to look at. He's a nice looking fella. He's played the game. He has had the podcast. You know,
Right.
he's Derek's sidekick. You know, of course he was going to get the gig. But come on, like Dr. Will just always had a special, like, you're stupid, don't do this about him.
And when his forehead stopped moving, I mean,
You know,
From
but
all
his
the
mouth kept
Botox.
going. His mouth kept going. But Cody, like, enough of it. Whatever. This is why I'm never going to be allowed into any of the Big Brother like circuit, because I'll just be like, Cody, bleh. Derek, bleh.
It's why you know Survivor fans will stone me for Boston Rob.
For the Boston Rob,
You-
for
you
that
know
damn
You know what'll
sparkle.
happen? You'll have your Boston Rob moment, just like I did with Rachel. It'll happen.
I don't think so. I don't think Rob's got it. Now, if he started his Boston Rob hatred, 20 years ago, he would have had his moment. But
Yeah, I think that may be true too.
it's too late now, unless there's like some sort of like
Like an old person's version,
nursing
like
home.
the 60 and
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, then maybe.
And the 60 and over, and only me and Jack are going to be watching it. Like, oh, this is the best TV ever.
Finally, we're represented. Equal representation. Yeah, listen,
that's funny.
it's fine. We'll see. Maybe I'll change my mind. I doubt it. I doubt it. But you know what? It's been a crazy year. Anything could happen. Maybe I'll change my mind and I'll love it. Maybe I'll think Cody was the greatest answer to the round table mysteries ever. But I doubt it.
And Jamie, speaking of Big Brother past contestants, aren't we going to be talking about some soon?
Yeah, we are, because Amazing Race is happening now. Well, it was 8 minutes ago. We got the new season of Amazing Race, and it's Big Brother alum, their friends, their family, their twin brothers. But it's like what did it say? European adventure. So they're not going global. They're just staying in Europe.
It sounds like Europe. Yeah.
Isn't that like so Big Brother of them too? Like everybody else is going to travel the globe, but you guys are just going to stay within Europe because you can hit like all the countries in one trade ride in a day.
Big Brother, little mileage. Welcome.
So bad. Oh my God, I hate
and
it.
So, because of the Big Brother connection, Tally the Votes will be appearing weekly to discuss Amazing Race this season. Big announcement.
Yeah, and for right now, we're going to record what we've decided on Friday for the premiere episode. We will be recording tomorrow night, late tomorrow night. After Big Brother is done, there's a possibility that we'll be swapping that for Thursdays after the episodes.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out as we go. As we travel the small continent of Europe, we will logically come to the best conclusion that we possibly can. But we're going to be here for that. I am
back on Sunday for the finale.
Going to be doing the finale on Sunday. And then we've jumped over to the U.S. Survivor season. So I'll be over on the Jay and Jack feed doing that. And then back here on Thursdays. And we got a couple months of that. And then we'll be jumping back into AU, I would assume. It's never ending.
Probably Traders.
Yeah, Traders is coming. You guys, this is never ending. Do you remember when we used to do like one
wait
show
6 months?
and then we wouldn't even see each other for 6 months? And there would be nothing on. And then we'd be like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Big Brother's back on. No, it doesn't end now. It never ends. And on top of not ending, it overlaps each other. I mean, I'm complaining, but I'm not really complaining. Because what else am I gonna do? Like, watch the news? No. This is so much better.
Jamie, this is very Vince of you to talk about all your problems in terms of what
so
the
many.
opportunities are.
So many.
I won the HOH, and now I'm in a hell of a pickle.
Oh my god! I shouldn't have
I'm
won
going to
this
poop
one.
my pants.
I'm gonna poop my pants. I shouldn't have done it. Oh my god, you guys!
And if you don't watch a lot, that is his actual quote.
That's it. That's it. That's him. Actually, yeah. What do you mean, Morgan?
I'm gonna poop my
Always.
pants.
I'm gonna poop my pants. I have a cramp, you guys. I have a cramp.
Oh, cramp.
Why does that boy have so many cramps? What is the deal? It's so weird.
The man needs to eat a couple of bananas and maybe have a tonic water or something.
It's something. You need to hydrate, bruh. Listen, bruh. It's time to hydrate. Okay, guys.
Jamie,
if you
it's time
enjoyed,
to hydrate.
I need to go hydrate. If you guys have enjoyed this coverage, and at this point, I'm not entirely sure why you would, but if you have, hit like and subscribe. It helps us build our base, and your feedback means that we can make a better show for you. So send us the feedback. It's at tallythefeedback@yahoo.com. Let us know who you kind of think's going to win this, or who should win this. I don't know. Talk about Julie's outfit tonight, by the way, which was slamming. She was a hot mama in her little rocker gear tonight. So we can talk about that in your feedback. Whatever. We don't judge. We just read it out loud. Yeah. So hit like, subscribe. Come on back here if you're going to be watching Amazing Race. Otherwise, we'll be here this Sunday doing the finale. And you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also find us on the Jay and Jack Whole Enchilada feed. Tally the votes, or Jay and Jack. Pick your poison. Speaking of Jay and Jack, we'd like to give a shout out and a special thanks to the Jay and Jack patrons, especially those who contribute at a certain level. Ready for this? It is Maggie the Magnificent, Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman, Joanne with a Plan, or Eckhart Rickner. That's right. I said it out of order. Do you know how hard that was for me to do? I really had to think about it. And if you'd like to be a Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/Jay and Jack. That's it. That's all I got. We're heading to the finale. Christy's going to be back with us. It's going to be crazy. One of us is walking away a winner. All three of us are in the finals. It's wild. It's wild times to be alive, guys.
And hopefully it won't be me, because I'm insufferable when I win.
Well, all I have to say is make us proud, Morgan. Your mother and I will be watching Sunday night.
We're watching from the stand, sweetheart.
So excited. And, final shout out. What up, Mama J? That's what I'm going to start calling Jamie from now on, Mama J. What up, Mama J?
It's going to be my survivor name. I'm just saying.
So thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. And thanks for being here with us, Brian. There might be a chance we say, hey, Brian, you want to come on over to the finale because our girl won and we need to do a celebration dance. But I mean, I'm not one to gloat. So
I am. So Ashley, you gotta win.
All right.
So if Morgan wins, I'll join the podcast.
Yeah, you can jump in. Woo, woo, woo. We're going to Arsenio Hall this right to the end of Tally the Votes theme song. We've got it.
All right. We're out.
Right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
I almost said, but I didn't.